So the first debate then coming up this week, who benefits most from Donald Trump not taking part?
Donald Trump.
Mm.
And that's usually who he's most focused on, isn't it? So, once again, he steals the thunder. He sucks all the air out of the room. And it's a disservice, I believe, to the voters. Even though he was president at one point, and we do know a lot of his positions, maybe some of them have slightly changed over time, as many politicians do. Maybe, his interactions and his personality have slightly changed, which I don't think so, but it's still nice to watch and see how everyone interacts with each other and how they are able to score up against one another. Of course, I think it's definitely a smart move on his part, because he's also his own worst enemy. He doesn't know when to keep his mouth quiet. He doesn't have a filter. And because he is so far ahead in the polls, he's now anywhere upwards of 40% higher than Ron DeSantis. The latest poll that I saw in Iowa, which is the first caucus, had him, I believe, at 42, had Ron DeSantis at 19, and Tim Scott trailing at 9. Everyone else is way below. So it's probably a smart move, but I do find it to be disappointing.
Yeah, in terms of, I suppose the people losing out, so the Republican membership, as you say, who deserve to hear things debated and discussed among the potential candidates to run for president, they will have no access, if he doesn't take part in these, to detailed analysis of what he thinks on contemporary issues. So whatever he did during his presidency a few years ago, 2017 to 21. Things have changed. We need to hear from all of the candidates at this point. Is it something about, from his point of view, that by being a former president, he would almost diminish himself by being among, what is almost a cast of thousands of candidates at this point, and in some way that would diminish his one key campaigning strategy, which is, I've done this before?
Sure. Well, it's arrogance and narcissism. That's the only answer that you have for that, because it doesn't matter if you've been president before. It doesn't matter if you've been king or queen. You're no better than the next individual who's trying to do what's best for the country. So I think it's vital that we hear from everyone. Now, what he did well in his 2016 election, I thought, if he decides to redo it, was on his campaign website. He did have a series of small, shorter videos on where he stood on the issues. And so maybe that's something he'll release to his massive email list that he continues to blast all of these fundraising letters to. So then that way we are brought up to speed. I don't know. I just find the whole thing to be nonsense. It's a circus, and it's unfortunate.